This podcast is a proud member of the Unidentified Network.
On the Track is a monthly web TV show about cryptozoology, natural history, green issues and whatever else the team feel like making up as they go along. Enjoy!
So what have we got exciting that's coming up in this episode, Mr. John?
Well, Hannes, in this episode we go back to Loch Ness with our old mate and friend of the show, Ian Squibbs.
I really like the old credits.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of... What's that? I can hear the guns of Brixton. I'm going to have to tell the ghost of Joe Strummer next time he's in the studio.
So, Rossiter, what shenanegans have you been up to down at the Youth Outreach Centre in Brixton? Oh, Barry! We have been doing a stage production. We have been doing a recreation of the play A Day in the Death of Joe Egg.
I remember back in the dim and distant past when I was a student nurse over 40 years ago, we were scheduled to see that film at least 3 times and I have no memory ever of seeing it. But that's by the by. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Downs. I'm the director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, and welcome to another episode of On the Track. Now, On the Track is a bi-weekly web TV show that comes out every Saturday afternoon at 3 for about half an hour, and every Wednesday evening at 6:30 for about half that. And it is a mishmash, a melange, a moderated mixture, I can't think of any more. What begins with M, Lauren?
Mazba, of course.
Oh, I can work with that. Brilliant. Thank you, Lauren. And it covers hard science, weird shit, and surreality. What's surreality, you might ask? Well, go and ask the boy Freeman. He knows these things.
Surreality is analogous to the trout that live in the landscape of our minds.
And now all that's done and dusted, over to our special guest for this week, the one and only, and the completely and utterly irreplaceable Ian Squibbs. Ian, how lovely to have you back, old friend. How's things
Hello, John.
been treating you?
Yeah, not too bad, and it's good to be back on CFZ TV as we have another insight into the inexplicable and the insane. So, today we're going to head back to Loch Ness and check out the latest goings-on at the world's most mysterious body of water. So without further ado, let's begin and have a look at a new photo of the monster and see if we finally have proof of the existence of the elusive creature. On the 4th of April this year...
I have it in front of me, that one.
Yes, there. It's the one. So a bit of background. On the 4th of April this year, Canadian couple Parry Malm and Shannon Wiseman, who live in London, were visiting Loch Ness with their children. The family were near Urquhart Castle when they saw something unusual in the water. We just started watching it more and more, and we could see its head craning above the water, Malm told the Canadian press. And it was swimming against the current towards the castle, slowly but surely. Like very fastidiously going over the waves and coming closer and closer. And then it submerged and disappeared. Thinking quickly, they took a picture of what they were seeing and ultimately decided to submit the photo to the Loch Ness Monster Sighting Register. So let's have a look at the photo and see what we got there. So there we go. It's the photo there.
Well, I tell you, the first weird thing that comes to mind, this photograph was taken on what would have been my mother's 102nd birthday. Not that that's relevant to anything,
well,
but worth noting.
These things do have coincidences, and when the stars line up, these things do happen. But there it is, on definitely something on the surface there. But what? We don't know. What do you think, John? What do you think that could be?
I think it's a bird. I think it's a group or something.
It does look a bit.
It's got that thick neck, a bit like a crested grebe.
It does look a bit ducky, doesn't it? So we'll see. Anyway, Malm continued. The official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register got in touch within 24 hours. They were super excited. They sent it to one of their Loch Ness experts who said it was compelling evidence. I believe that was the exact phrase. And just one thing led to another. I mean, it's been incredible. The family's story and photo received widespread publicity, although there is no consensus on what exactly it is they saw. Shannon Wiseman said, "We don't know what we saw. Our children believe we saw Nessie, and I believe it for them. I believe we saw something that could be Nessie, and that is a very broad possibility." But Nessie researcher Alan McKenna is more certain that there's a more prosaic explanation for the sighting. "I am not convinced," he wrote in a post on the Loch Ness Exploration Facebook group. "As always, I'm open to be corrected, but in this case, I'm fairly confident that we've all seen this particular object many times before." McKenna shared several photos taken by different witnesses on various dates, each showing the same object captured from the very same spot and angle near Urquhart Castle. So, if you look at the next image, there's a collage there of 4 images. So we've got the Malm photo, which we're currently discussing. Then we've got the Thomas Dobson photo from 2021, showing a similar object. Then we've got the Loch family photo from 2018, again showing the same type of entity. And there again, in an image of an unknown date. So there you go. And if we just move on to the next image that Alan McKenna himself took in 2022, we could see that there. You have to strain your eyes a bit for this one, but the object is there in the middle of the photo. So McKenna went on to explain, "Mr. Malm claims that the object appeared to be moving against the current and therefore believed that it was a living creature rather than a piece of driftwood or something similarly prosaic. It's also worth mentioning that Mr. Malm observed the object for a whopping 4 minutes, and in Nessie terms, that's basically a full feature movie. After the 4 minutes, Mr. Malm tells us that the object eventually vanished back into the waters of the loch. Sadly, this is not a photo of the Loch Ness Monster. The object captured here is very much stationary and does not move. Therefore, it couldn't have vanished below the surface. The only time when the object may appear to submerge would be during high winds or rough weather conditions, creating large waves, resulting in the object being concealed in short intervals. However, the veteran researcher who last year helped organise the largest surface watch of Loch Ness since 1972, doesn't blame the family for thinking they might have seen Nessie. Mr. Malm explained that this was actually his family's first time visit in the loch, which was great. And I truly hope that they had a fantastic day, Mr. McKenna said. Being their first time at the loch, I think we can forgive Mr. Malm for making this small mistake. So there we go. So, right. Okay. Exactly. Let's see. So basically, though, fair enough, you might think. McKenna has explained the image and backed up his words. So let's put that to bed and get on with the rest of our lives. But wait. Interestingly, when I was visiting Urquhart Castle 2 years ago, I spotted a strange object in the loch. I immediately hit record on my video camera and set about capturing the footage that so many had failed to obtain before me. Finally, conclusive evidence of the elusive beast, and I was going to make $1 million. So, let's have a look at what I filmed. Run VT. See the monster there. There's the monster. Right, okay, so there you have it. Unfortunately, I too had an encounter with McKenna's prosaic driftwood, or whatever it was, rather than a plesiosaurus that had survived the Jurassic Age and had been living ever since in the dark waters of Loch Ness, which is what I had hoped for. So yeah. Right. Okay.
Well, I'm very sorry about that, Ian. I think you should probably go to the NHS and apply for trauma counselling for the deep
Yeah, exactly.
Not having seen it.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing, but anyway, these things happen, I suppose. Just have to live and learn. Okay. Right, okay, let's move on to another new photo of the Loch Ness Monster. So then, a good thing that has been happening over the past year at Loch Ness has been a number of well-publicised service observations of the loch, staffed by volunteers and organised by the Loch Ness Centre and the Loch Ness Exploration Group. The watchers are stationed at observation points around the loch in an attempt to sight the monster. The events attract a large turnout of volunteers, ranging from serious monster hunters to drunk Australians having a jolly up, and all giving the local economy a boost. But if that's part of the deal in keeping the mystery alive, then so be it. The Quest weekend was organised from the 30th of May to the 2nd of June, and again attracted a large turnout. And we can see, just go to the next image, and we can see some advertising material that the group used. So there you go, see, we can have a look at that there. Volunteers wanted, 2024. Okay. The Scottish Press and Journal website gave the following report about the Quest weekend. Nessie hunters claim to have captured a new image and heard a unique noise during the Quest weekend and organised search for the Loch Ness monster. The event saw hundreds of Nessie hunters from across the world scour the 23-mile-long body of water between Thursday, May the 30th and Sunday, June the 2nd. Among them was Alan McKenna, again, from Loch Ness Exploration, who captured a unique noise described as a rhythmic pulsing for around 10 seconds. He used a 60-foot hydrophone and is now set to analyse the noise more closely in an attempt to identify the source of the fascinating sound that he has never heard before. Evelyn Murphy, 11, also captured a potential sighting with an intriguing photo showing a clear break in the water made by an unidentified object or creature. So we can have a look at the image that Evelyn captured. Let's have a look and see what we think. So get that up there, the next image. Look at that. How very, very odd.
Well, it's something, isn't it?
Some kind of white form on the surface. But what is it? Very peculiar.
There also seems to be something to the right hand of it.
Yes.
Something that looks like a giant stick insect, but I'm not claiming that this is a giant stick insect of Loch Ness.
Could be the monster's neck, maybe. But yeah, we don't know, and it remains a mystery. So yeah, that's one for us to ponder. Ashley Range, a volunteer who travelled from Washington State to take part in the quest, said, "I've been obsessed with Scotland and Nessie my whole life, and to be here is just a dream. To be on an actual expedition and out on deep scan exploring Loch Ness is a dream come true. I definitely believe in Nessie, although a lot of the evidence can be explained. There is a lot out there that is unexplainable. It's been an incredible trip." In addition to the search, several other celebratory events also took place. The Loch Ness Centre hosted a live debate with Alan McKenna. Again, he gets around a bit, from the Loch Ness Exploration. Roland Watson, a renowned Loch Ness writer, and eyewitness Richard White. The panel told gripping stories discussing their ongoing research and dissected eyewitness accounts, all while debating the existence of the elusive monster. It comes ahead of the Loch Ness Centre's upcoming collaboration with an unnamed Scottish university, which will use new technology to study the loch. Paul Nixon, general manager of the Loch Ness Centre, said, "The excitement this weekend has proved that intrigue surrounding Loch Ness and its monster is still very much alive. We all want the same thing, to discover the mysteries of the natural phenomena beneath the loch. After another successful quest weekend, we are more determined than ever to continue to search for answers." Next year's quest weekend takes place from Thursday, the 22nd to Sunday, the 25th of May. 2025. So there you go. Right. So
you a story somewhere along the line with this about the Loch Ness Centre asking NASA to get involved.
There is something coming up. NASA are going to team up, I believe, with probably some kind of equipment, sonar equipment or something. But we shall see. But yes, I did notice that, but I didn't read too much into it at the time. But we can cover that. We can cover that in coming episodes.
There will be more from Loch Ness next week, as well as the next part of Richard Freeman's rewilding and anti-extinction experiment. And that would have been the end of this episode. But on Friday night, I had the immensely sad news that Tony Shields, otherwise known as Doc Shields, who was an old friend of mine and in many ways was a father figure and a mentor to me, has died at the age of 86. There have been rumours recently that he died about 10 years ago, but those proved to be just that, rumours. I suspect that Tony, who had basically turned his back upon the world of Forteana, had decided to put those rumours out himself in order so he wouldn't be bothered by monster hunters and friends of monster hunters and wannabe monster hunters ever again. However, this time it's true. I spoke to his daughter Kate late on Friday night and she confirmed it. And she went on to say that he's raising monsters somewhere else now. And indeed, I very much hope he is. I loved that man dearly, as did my late wife, and indeed my first wife. He was a very lovable man. And my life, for one, is never going to be the same without him. I'm fighting back the tears as I record this, and this is several days after I heard the tragic news. I can also tell you that whilst I was trying to confirm that he had indeed died before I spoke to Kate, I found out that Christine, his wife of many, many years, died very recently as well. I will do a proper show in tribute to him, but at the moment it's all I can do to finish this little snippet here. So please forgive me if I don't go into any more details. Wherever you are, Tony, wherever you are, Christine, good luck and love to you both. And my blessings, prayers and good wishes go out to all their families and loved ones.
If you want to support us and help us make more content like these, please press like, subscribe, follow our Facebook page and check out our Patreon.
And as the ghost of Joe Strummer, who's an ever more regular visitor to my little studio, says, don't forget to ring the notification bell, otherwise you'll miss the new episodes.
If you've been affected by any of the topics in today's episode, you can just bugger off, because we don't give a monkeys. Bloody well get a grip! Sort your own bloody problems out rather than ringing up somewhere.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, before we pack up, I just want to tell you that we've started yet another stream on this channel. As many of you probably know, I am a music journalist. Over the years I've interviewed quite a few interesting people, and I've recently been having requests from people to make these interviews public. And I thought the easiest way to put them into the public domain was to upload them one at a time here on CFZ TV. And so we've started this new stream which is called CFZ Arts and Books and Stuff, which is a very, very elegant way of saying it's about arts and books and stuff and all the other stuff that I have done over the years, and including some contemporary interviews. And we're starting off with an interview with my old friend Tony Klinger, who was the director of one of my favourite rock music films, The Kids Are All Right, from 1978, a film by The Who, that for various reasons I won't go into here, I saw the premiere of in Toronto, and great fun was had by all. And we revisit that a little bit with a long interview which I did recently with him to mark the latest edition of his book about the film called Who Knows. And I want to say a big, big thank you to my producer Louis, who is still gallivanting around the colonies wearing a John Wayne costume that he found on eBay. Well, I also want to say, of course, a big thank you to my guest this week, who is the irrepressible Ian Squibbs, and we'll be back with Ian next Saturday with the final part of our conversation about the latest goings-on at Loch Ness. And we'll also have Richard's second part of his genetic recreation experiment and some other stuff. What's going to be in it, I don't know, so I can't tell you in advance, but there will be something, I can promise you that. So, are you going to be watching Mr. McCrinnan? Because if you are going to be watching Mr. McCrinnan, then I'm going to be there doing the live chat and the notifications and all the other stuff I do. So, if you're going to be watching Mr. McCrinnan, I'll be seeing you.